We live in a time unlike any before. Never in history has so much of the world been within arm's reach. At any moment, we can see what our friends are doing, what celebrities are thinking, what strangers across the globe are eating for lunch. And yet, in the middle of all this connection, many of us feel more scattered, more restless, and more unfocused than ever. We live in a world of distraction, and whether we realize it or not, distraction is shaping us. The average person spends hours a day staring at a glowing rectangle, scrolling through feeds designed to never end. There's no natural stopping point. One video becomes 10. One notification becomes 20. It feels harmless in the moment, but little by little, those fragments of attention add up. Days blur together, the sense of time collapses, and what's left is a quiet feeling that our lives are slipping by in small, invisible ways. What's dangerous about distraction isn't just that it wastes time, it's that it steals depth. It takes our focus and spreads it thin, so thin that nothing feels truly fulfilling. We jump from one thing to the next, but we rarely stay long enough to experience meaning. It's like trying to grow roots in shallow soil. You can't. It's like trying to grow roots in shallow soil. You can't. Technology is not evil. Social media is not inherently bad. These are tools, and tools can build or destroy depending on how we use them. But the truth is, most of these platforms aren't built with our well-being in mind. They're built for engagement. Every swipe, every tap, every click is tracked, optimized, refined to keep you hooked. Infinite scroll isn't an accident. Notifications that light up your brain like a slot machine aren't accidental. They're strategies, designed to keep your attention because your attention is the product being sold. And yet, the deeper problem is not the technology. It's our relationship with it. It's the unconscious way we reach for our phones the moment silence appears. The way we can't sit in a waiting room without pulling out a screen. The way the thought of being alone with our own minds feels uncomfortable. Blaise Pascal, the French philosopher, once wrote, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." He wrote that centuries ago, before smartphones, before TV, before the internet. And if it was true then, how much truer is it now? Silence is not empty. It's full of answers. But we don't often give ourselves the chance to hear them. When we avoid silence, we avoid ourselves. We avoid the questions rising up inside us. Who am I becoming? What do I actually value? What's truly worth my time? Distraction numbs those questions. It keeps us entertained enough to avoid looking in the mirror. So how do we navigate this world? How do we resist being pulled apart by 1,000 tiny hooks? The first step is awareness. Notice the patterns. Notice how you feel after half an hour of scrolling compared to half an hour of reading, writing, walking, or even just sitting outside. The difference is striking. One leaves you drained, the other leaves you fuller, more alive. When you begin to pay attention to that contrast, you start to see distraction for what it really is. Not entertainment, but theft. Theft of your energy, theft of your presence, theft of your life. The second step is to build boundaries. Not walls that cut you off from the world, but fences that protect what matters. Try simple acts. Leave your phone in another room when you sleep. Eat a meal without a screen in front of you. Block out 1 hour each day for something that feeds you rather than drains you. It could be reading, exercising, praying, journaling, talking with someone you love. That single hour, protected from distraction, can shift your entire perspective. And the third step is presence. Presence is the antidote to distraction. When you are fully present in a moment, distraction loses its grip. When you're locked into a deep conversation, when you're absorbed in creating something, when you're moved by a song, time slows. Life feels real again. That's the state distraction tries to keep you from. Because a person who is present is powerful. A person who is present cannot be easily controlled. There's a quote often attributed to where attention goes, energy flows. And it's true. If your attention is scattered into 1,000 meaningless directions, so is your energy. But if your attention is centered, if it's focused on the things that actually matter, your craft, your relationships, your growth, your energy compounds, you start to build, you start to live. Without focus, we lose ourselves in this endless cycle of think about the people you admire most. They're not the ones who are endlessly distracted. They're the ones who learn to harness their focus. Artists who pour themselves into their work. Leaders who are fully present with the people they guide. Friends who give you their undivided attention. These are people who resist distraction and, because of it, live lives of depth. So here's the challenge. For 1 week, reclaim 1 hour a day. Just one. An hour with no screens, no scrolling, no background noise. Fill it with something meaningful, something that connects you to who you are and who you want to become. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. You might feel restless, even bored. But stay with it. Because beyond that boredom is clarity. Beyond that discomfort is freedom. The truth is, distraction will always be here. Technology will only grow more persuasive, more addictive, more subtle in the way it captures us. The world won't change, but you can. You can decide that your focus, your presence, your life are too valuable to give away cheaply. You can step out of the stream and choose stillness. You can create before you consume. You can be awake in a world that profits when you sleepwalk. No, you got only what you wanted because you resisted. And so the question becomes, what kind of life do you want? One that slips away in fragments of scrolling, or one that is lived fully, deeply awake? The tools of distraction are strong, but your awareness is stronger. You don't have to run from this world, you just have to navigate it with intention. In fact, most of us haven't even tried. We just assume it's impossible, that we're too weak. The choice is yours. And it begins not tomorrow, not next week, but now, in this very moment, when you decide to take back your attention and live present in a world of distraction. Now here's the part we often don't like to admit. Distractions aren't just out there on our phones, on our screens, or on social media. The hardest distractions are the ones inside of us. It's the urge to escape, the fear of missing out, the restlessness that makes us reach for our phones even when we don't care what's on them. Technology didn't create distraction. It only amplified it. The real battle is learning to sit with yourself without needing constant stimulation. Think about it. How often do you check your phone not because you need to, but because you don't want to be alone with your own thoughts? That's the real challenge of our age, regaining control over our attention by first being honest with ourselves. One way I've found to combat this is to reframe boredom. Instead of seeing downtime as wasted, I see it as space. That's when your mind processes, reflects, and creates. Some of the greatest ideas in history didn't happen when people were scrolling. They happened in silence, during walks, during stillness. If you can resist the impulse to immediately fill every empty moment, you'll find that your mind naturally starts offering you deeper thoughts. So if you want to thrive in today's noisy world, practice creating intentional silence. That could mean leaving your phone in another room for 30 minutes, journaling before bed, or even just taking a walk without headphones. The goal isn't to eliminate all distractions. That's impossible. The goal is to build the muscle of attention so you can decide when to engage and when to pull back. Because at the end of the day, your attention is your life. Whatever captures your focus is what shapes your reality. And the truth is, most people never realize they've traded their best years for endless scrolling. Don't let that be you. Reclaim your attention and you'll reclaim your life. Thanks for watching. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments and share it with someone who might need it. Don't forget to subscribe to the School of the Wise for more videos like this, where we dive deeper into living with clarity and purpose. Until next time, stay focused, stay grounded, and keep walking the wiser path.